Ladies and gentlemen, Hard to Kill, episode 203. We got Bobo in the building, and we got Jeremy Lutz, 0331 E5 out at is it Virginia Beach or is it Quantico?
It's Quantico.
Quantico, lovely Quantico. All right. So Jeremy, how we doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, just having a great day. Starting to thunder
I don't
here,
I don't
starting to
believe you.
rain. No,
Pre-
today was a good day.
No,
I'm
I appreciate
alive.
you taking the
Got
time,
to
dude.
work out.
Appreciate you taking the time coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks
This
for
is
having me.
the co-host Bobo. I don't know if you've seen him on episodes before, but who go ahead and sing your praises, Bobo.
Yeah, just like the quick rundown every episode, just kind of background. Was in 0341 with 1st Battalion, 1st Marines from 2010 till 2014. Did the 13th MEU in 2011 with them, and did Afghan Pump in 2012 with them in the Marja Nawa area. And then I did 3 years with 224 Weapons Company 81s from 2016 to 2019. And now I'm a tired, out of shape dad in the first Civ Div here in the Chicagoland area.
All right, Jeremy, if you could, just for my listeners, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so joined in 2020, not originally as an O3, joined as an Intel guy. Boot dropped with 1st Battalion, 3rd Marines, and was immediately sent down to the line platoons to serve as a click Marine, so company level intelligence cell. After about 2 years of doing that, I decided to lat move. So went from Intel dude to 0331, went to ITB as a corporal, and then came back, hit the fleet, went back to the same unit, and served out the rest of my time there as an 0331. Now I'm in 5 years, and now I'm with Weapons Training Battalion Quantico.
Okay. How was bro, how was that? How was ITB as a fucking corporal, bro?
It's kind of a trip, I didn't really know what to expect going there, especially since I was just around a bunch of young kids, like 18, 19 years old, because it was like the group I was around were the dudes who went in like straight out of high school.
Yep.
Really weird. When I got there, there was like like 3 other lat movers with me. They like OJT'd with their units because they're out of San Mateo with 5th Marines.
Okay.
So they were pretty up to speed with everything. So we just banded together. First few months were kind of not it because we just got lumped in with all the other privates.
Yeah.
It really started to get better for us after our first maneuver range. We kind of stepped up and team led, squad led, and showed that we were competent. And after that, got treated a little bit more like corporals.
Yeah, yeah.
And NCOs in the infantry instead of just students going through ITV. But it was a great experience, really humbling and going right back to the basics. A lot of things I missed doing OJT with the grunts.
It's nice when it comes together like that, and you kind of fall into the leadership position, and you see how it flows, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. I don't know, you poke at him a little bit, Baba. What do you think?
So Intel Marine. So what can you bring? Like, what does an Intel Marine bring? Becoming like an 03, like what kind of skill set, what kind of perspective do you bring? Like, tell the audience, and frankly tell me, just another dumb grunt knuckle dragger here, but like, what do you bring moving over to an infantry platoon company? What do you have to offer them that they might not have inherently without having someone with your school training and skill set?
Yeah, so there's definitely like different breeds when it comes to Intel dudes. For me, I boot dropped with 8 other O2s at 1-3, and we all got sent down to the clicks. So for us, we were all really proficient with tactical level intelligence, like working with squads and platoons and companies, and actually like knowing what riflemen do on the deck. So speaking from that point, we were really proficient with company level operations and like being able to like red hat and blue hat operations like that. So coming over as that being my background, and then immediately like I came back to the fleet after ITB, and then like 3 months later I went to AMGC. So it was a little bit easier for me to write orders and understand like things of the bigger picture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it had been known that for like like 2.5 years before.
Yeah.
So that's really for dudes who are clicks before that. It's a little bit easier to translate right there and give a bigger, broader scope to the fight than like if a dude just dropped as an 11 or like a boot grunt and all he ever did was just like squad attacks, company attacks, whatever, and all he knew was like, oh,
Small,
machine gun
small,
shoots that way.
small picture. They
Yeah.
all they
Yeah,
know is small
Yeah.
picture. Yeah.
yeah. So it kind of like joins together in two different ways, you know, because I went to AMGC and a lot of dudes that they're up to speed with it, but some dudes weren't really. So it was really good to have that knowledge, especially as an E. I went as a corporal.
Yeah, of course.
Gotcha. One follow on question for the audience and honestly, frankly, for a refresher for me. I know you're a company level intelligence clerk. Refresh us on what a click marine does
Yes,
for the company for his unit.
Yeah, so a click dude for the company, his main job is just keeping IPB, so intelligence preparation of the battle space. It's been a minute since I thought about this. Uh, Keeping that process going for the company commander because you're trying to keep that situational awareness going on at all times. So just being that direct link between the battalion and the regiment S2, being able to translate everything that comes down the pipeline to your CO and all the subordinate like platoon commanders. And then on the flip side, being able to take all the collections because you're the collections manager for that company. So
Okay.
everything, debriefing all the squads that go on patrol, every like attack that happens, all the TSC that happens, you're in charge of it. So being able to take that information and send it right back up the pipeline.
Okay, so like literally in the name, you're a liaison. You're
Yeah.
you're the intelligence middleman when you're the click marine. You disseminate what you get from up high and you package and send up what you get from down low.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
So communication's big. I mean, you really got to know how to, break stuff down for, the top guys and be able to disseminate it and, translate it to the lower guys. So, communication's huge in that racket. Now, something that we need to articulate here, as an E4 going into ITB, it's not easy thing to do. A lot of guys, they break down, they let it get to their head a little bit. Being humble is a big thing, and something that you could probably speak about is being able to do that. I mean, was that hard for you off rip, or is that something that you kind of like understood you're going to have to do?
So I kind of already knew that I couldn't just go in there and be like, oh, I'm a SME or whatever.
Exactly. Yep.
I definitely had to choke down some of my pride because, yeah, I was rolling with machine gunners for the last like 2 years as a pogue. And I was already like kind of indoctrinated into that cult mindset, you know. But I had to go in there and get gut checked a little bit
Yep.
because ITB now how they're running with the IMC course. That's the one I went through. I didn't go through the legacy like 2 month course. When I went through with all the time of the year when I went through, it ended up being 5 months at ITB.
Wow.
God damn.
Yeah, so that was fun
What's the
because
what's
that's
the difference? Could you break that down for us?
yeah. So with the legacy course, it's that first month you do all basically like 0311 stuff. You hit the split, all the 31s go there, 41s, 51s, 52s. The 11s keep on doing their thing. All the
Okay.
weapons guys like learn their MOS. For IMC, it depends on what time of the year you go. I left in like June. That's when I picked up with ITB over there. So because of like all the 72s and 96s that happen at that part of the year, you're kind of hitting the same, like a little bit more training days, but you're just there for so long. So I was there for
Okay.
4 months in the course. A lot of the kids that I went through with, they have already been there. Like
Oh
I know
yeah.
one of
Yeah.
them was there for a year because
Oh,
instead of Matt Company, it became like Matt Battalion. I remember before I left, there was like 300 dudes there.
damn.
It was like holy shit.
Oh,
And then after the 4 months of IMC and like the 0311 course, you do 1 month for the weapons guys, and that's all
Yeah.
gotcha.
with IWIC.
Okay. So, being a modern day 0331, man, I mean, where's your head at? I mean, you're watching, I mean, we're all seeing what's on, social media with what's going on overseas. We're seeing warfare evolving. We're seeing how, drones are really coming into the picture. I mean, where's your head at? I mean, how can you be the most useful with, what you can bring to the table here?
Yeah. Let me preface this. I think of myself as average as best when it comes to 0331, you know.
Okay.
I just gotta keep in that mindset. But I've really seen the community evolve over the last 5 years. Because when I came in, we were still in the desert. Like Kabul happened when I was a Lance,
Okay.
and everybody was like, "Oh, we're going back," and then we didn't go back.
Yeah.
Not the
So
worst.
it's like we still have a lot of like senior sergeants and staff and gunnies who are still preaching that kind of fight. And
Gotcha.
then we have some,
Preaching the coin fight. Yeah.
yeah, and then we have some younger dudes and some staff and senior staff who are evolving with the game and are starting to be like, okay, well, instead of looking down range all the time at the target, maybe we should keep a few eyes towards the sky because of drones,
For sure.
especially like being with 1-3, our AOR is the Pacific, so we're
Yep.
always talking about like the Philippines and
Yeah.
China and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of our training was jungle, a lot of jungle warfare, and that is just such a shitty environment to
Oh,
train
it's
in and
terrible.
to
It's
and to
terrible.
like prepare to fight in.
Yep.
It's really hard as an 0331 because we're carrying the most stuff,
Facts.
and even then, it's like you guys know the book Matterhorn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of us started reading that because a lot of our lieutenants preached it, so we gave it a try, and it's actually probably the best description of like what we're probably going to go through because just like one mortar rounds for a company, everybody's going to be packing out like at least four
At
60s rounds,
least. Yeah.
and it's just so much more weight, and like
Yeah.
the 240s, and with the section that I was operating in, like we weren't just a medium section, we were heavy guns too. So
Gotcha.
instead of being with cat and having trucks to drive around, we don't have trucks that we can drive through a tree line. So
All on the
it's
Yeah.
feet.
like we were patrolling with 50s and
Yeah.
marks, and that thing
Oh,
sucks in the jungle, you know?
I mean, so being in 81s, Bubba, myself, people don't like weapons company. Like everyone thinks line company weapons, 60s, 240s, which are great and have their place. But I mean, like we're not light infantry in the weapons companies. We're not light infantry. We're technically medium infantry because you're
yeah.
medium machine guns or medium mortars, medium. So and shit. I guess technically 50s and marks are you can maybe consider them heavy. You probably should consider them heavy.
Yeah.
But as far as mortar goes, 81s are medium mortars. Them shits are heavy. When
Facts.
I was in 1-1, we were hiking up and down the San Onofre Mountain, the Horno Shelf with our mortar systems, and we would pack 30 extra pounds because that's what the 381s rounds would roughly weigh, and 3 rounds per guy. If you got a platoon of 40 to 60 guys, that's not that many rounds. That's not going to last you a whole lot. So like in a real combat situation where you're going to have to hump those rounds, that's going to be nuts, and you're going to be praying for resupply
Yeah.
because
Facts.
in a real fight you're going to be those mortar rounds they're going out fast, and even with a good FDC who's trying to save rounds, they're not going to last long. Same thing with machine gun rounds. All that Mark 19 ammo, all that 50 ammo you're humping, it's heavy as shit, but in a real fight, I'll tell you that shit doesn't last too long.
No,
So
you're right.
it's hard to grasp how truly little you're carrying, even though how heavy it fucking is. And
Yeah.
and I don't envy a jungle fight. I mean,
No.
I was fighting in the farmlands of Afghan. Like, we pretty much could see our targets, or at least see the area they were in. There was a few 100 meters or 100 meters or 50 meters between us. There wasn't dense fucking
Yeah,
jungle that I
exactly.
couldn't see 10 feet in front of me. So that's
It's crazy
wild.
that we keep going. We bounce theaters like this, dude, because I mean, we did how many fucking years over, in the Middle East, and then all of a sudden Taiwan's the next on the docket. I mean, that's significant, man. I mean, logistics comes into the picture. I mean, what's really your main focus? Is it body or is it weapon? Because you got to think. I mean, once those feet go, are you going to be able to keep humping? I mean, where's your head at on that, Jeremy?
So it's definitely like the duality of man with that.
Yeah,
And I just want to, I want that comfort based decision so much, but
Yeah.
it's that 0331 pride, like the gun comes first, always crew shoes
always.
come
Yep.
first, and then your rifle and everything. But it is like a very reasonable argument. Like sometimes that gun's gonna have to come second.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm
yeah,
gonna have to take care of my body, but even then, it's like if you're going on like a 3 week sustained ops in the jungle, like it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to take care of everything all at once.
absolutely.
You're not gonna have time to just sit there and do whatever, because even if you're in the defense sucks in the jungle. You're gonna be sleeping in a puddle for a few nights.
Oh,
Or if
so
you're doing
bad.
PB ops, suck even more. So that's a big thing that we try to preach. Like uh, my last section, me and all the other senior guys is trying to preach to the dudes like find a balance with it, because you're not going to have time. There's never enough time to be able to take care of everything.
It's funny you say that, like sleeping in a puddle. Like there's a saying that I like. It's a guy drowning, watching a guy die of thirst. You're in the fucking jungle, drowning, literally in a puddle, sleeping in a puddle. Yeah, flashback to the Afghan Iraq
Yeah,
war,
right.
and we're fucking baking in the goddamn sun. No, maybe a canal that's flooded is the water, but like you said, duality of man, duality of the Marine Corps, combat environment. You're either in some sun-baked, powdery desert shithole and you're getting cooked and it's dry as shit, or you're in some
Soggy asshole.
soggy ass, also hot, but
Yeah.
hot and wet fucking area.
Mm-hmm.
They never want to send us to fucking invade Miami.
No,
they never want us to invade a nice
that's
fucking
why they keep
comfortable
us, man.
place.
So Jeremy, give us like an accurate description of like, give us a pulse on the Marine Corps right now, man. Where's it at? Because it's a very difficult and new time, being like significant social media. I mean, we got information in our hands. I mean, especially where the world's at today with politics. I mean, I couldn't imagine being in today. I mean, how do you and you're an E5, you got guys under you. Where do you keep the mindset at, and how do you keep the morale where it needs to be? Um, where's your focus?
Yeah. So my last unit, that was a huge problem that we were trying to attack. It was really hard being able to like foster like a war fighting, like a warrior mindset there. All the buzzwords doesn't matter. Trying to have dudes who want to kill other dudes. It was really hard to do. I think we still didn't get there all the way, but we definitely influenced some of the younger guys. I think where it really is now is that we haven't been in a war in a minute. Like,
Yeah.
because when was the last time like the Marine Corps went to the GWAT and like or doing like frontal assault or something, or like going on patrols
Maybe
like
Syria, maybe like the later days. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
later days of Syria, the surge of Afghan, which was
Yeah.
2010 to 2013. So
yeah. So it's like not really my peer group, but the seniors who like came before me, all like 5 or 10 years before me, they joined like because they saw like Afghan and Iraq on TV. They're like, okay, I want to go do that.
Yep.
And it's like me watching that on YouTube. Oh, I want to go do that. And now I think it's the generation now is kind of just joining because they might think it's cool. Maybe they don't really have anything else to do. Maybe they don't want to go to college. Whatever reason. It's definitely not because they want to kill people. Like, there's definitely onesies and twosies who are just like meat eaters and are like cannibals like that. But
I hear you.
the majority of like the mindset, not just with the infantry, but with the Marine Corps as a whole right now, in my opinion, I know I said it earlier, like TikTok boys. I think they're just doing it for the clout.
Yeah, of course.
They're just kind of posting like cool training videos, whatever, and they're just trying to reap the benefits of the military, like GI Bill, which is like all power to you. Like, you want to join for education, that's cool, but
we're here right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the one of my old COs used to say the balloon could go up tomorrow. Like, if the balloon goes up tomorrow, you could be like IVO, like anything within 24 hours.
So how do you get that into their heads though, bro? Because I mean, we've talked about this, me and you privately, but it does fall on you, and it's a bitch because you can't force these guys to be warfighters, but at the end of the day, I mean, that does fall on you. So how do you light that fire if you could?
So definitely a lot more restricted than the Marine Corps was back in the day. Trying to still do it while staying within UCMJ, like not trying to like, one, break any dudes, two, break any rules. So one big thing that we were doing is a lot of ground fighting, and just getting in a mat room or like getting in a MICMAT pit and just like just fighting.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
making people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
exactly. And just like
Yeah.
getting like testosterone up and just fucking with them like that. Another thing was just like hard PT and just trying to bring it all back to like what are we actually doing here. So
Mm.
whenever we go for like a ruck run or something, or like a boots and utes flag, carrying something, like, okay, we're not just running out here just to like get better. No, there's an actual objective. So it'd be, oh no, we're running to the top of KT Hill because we need to do an ammo resupply.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
second guns needs ammo up there.
Yeah.
Things like that, just tying it all back. And then when dudes would fuck up, just like hold them accountable and realize like when you fuck up in the real world, like sure, you might not be writing like someone's mom or dad a letter because that's like for platoon commanders and like company commanders. But no, you need to realize like when you fuck up,
There are consequences.
that's getting someone killed.
Absolutely.
That was a correction tool when I was in. I never had to do it, but I mean, I saw plenty of guys who would fuck up on a range or fuck up anything, and their squad leader or whoever would make them write it, a fake, but write a letter to fucking PFC, Jin's, mom, like, hey, he, and it was harsh, but it was like, hey, because I didn't do my job, I got your son killed. And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's
in the
real,
meta
though.
sense, as we're sitting here, it's like, fuck, dog, that's rough, but like, it's true.
Yeah, it comes with it, man.
And never would that happen where like someone would write a letter to someone's family saying, I got your son killed.
But it
like,
puts it into perspective a little bit when
It
some of
does,
these guys are,
yeah.
kind of taken out of that a little bit because they haven't been in theater in a while, man. You gotta remember that. But give them some advice, Bobo. What's a good way to kind of, because it's weird because when we were in, we had something to do. And keep in mind, he's right, man. These guys haven't had something to chew on in fucking what, 10 plus?
So we were Nick, we were the meat in the sandwich.
Yeah.
As gay as that sounds, we were the
That's
meat in the
real,
sandwich.
though.
We had all the shit on YouTube live leak of the early Iraq war that I know you feel the same way. We felt like that we missed out on. I always made the joke. I used to give my mom shit. I was mad at her because I wasn't born sooner, so I missed out on the invasion.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so we missed out on early Iraq because of our age. But the 20-year forever war, luckily or unluckily, was still going on, so we were able to still have something in front of us. So we were the meat in the sandwich, and we had something to strive to be, but we also had not a guarantee because every unit's deployment schedule varies, but we had like an almost guaranteed deployment schedule to go on.
Facts.
So you've got everything behind you to use as an example, which you should use. And as much as it might sound like, fanboy jerking off, like pull up some videos. And I know drone warfare has changed it up, and we're kind of going back to trench warfare and island hopping, but like pull up some videos of not only like motivating shit, but like, hey, like tactical wise, like what are they doing here? So these guys are not only seeing wars that Marines before them have fought in, but they're seeing, okay, in this patrol-based fight in Afghan, you've got suppressing fire, you've guys got, maybe a maneuver element. You can kind of almost tactic explain. You can make a like training value out of it rather than just three dudes in a barracks watching cool combat videos. So like you make it real. So you can make it real by showing what Marines have done, and then you can make it real by showing some nightmare shit that's happening in Ukraine.
True. Yeah.
You can show them like, hey, these guys left their cover and concealment and they got targeted by a drone.
Well, something that's kind of important to articulate, dude. You know how like the first group of guys that go into like a new environment, how they have to adjust their TTPs and their SOPs, they get fucking smashed on, dude. So the first wave of guys is gonna be you guys, man. When something pops off, and you got to remind everybody, listen, we're gonna be fucking down shit's creek, and we're gonna have to adjust to this shit fast. So being able to be that guy that snaps on quick and adjusts to what's going on is gonna be laying on you. So that's something to remind them of.
Yeah, running joke that we had, or more like my seniors kind of coined it, was Operation Speed Bump when we were first became like 1-3 and we became the littoral combat team.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like speed bump because we were going to be the first ones in that fight when it does happen, and we're gonna be the ones to figure it all out.
Facts.
And honestly, just pass on all the knowledge that is learned from that future fight to all the dudes and First Marines, Fifth Marines that are gonna have to follow through.
And that's I lived the other end of that. So we deployed in June of 2012 to Afghan. So when we went to enhanced Mojave Viper in 29 Palms, we had a Marine that was with 3-5 and sang in when they lost 25 guys. They, hundreds of wounded. They came to us and gave us all this knowledge. They were the speed bump. They were at the very least, the IED speed bump, but they were the ones that came and told us, hey,
that good knowledge.
If you guys find or strike an IED, that here's an SOP, or if you're in a not precarious situation, Taliban starts pop shotting you from the east, they're trying to lure you into an IED belt. They gave us they were the speed bump. We learned off of them. So I guess that doesn't help you any, because unfortunately
exactly right.
You'll probably be the speed bump.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunately it seems to be you're the meat eater and one of the meat eaters in your unit, and you're going to be the one that's having to grab dudes cowering in a hole and toss them out of the trench to buddy rush, or get them back on the gun. And
just know someone's got to do it, Jeremy. You know what I mean? And if it falls on you, it falls on you, bro.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in a non-deployable unit now, but
gotcha.
I'll be
for now.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, for now.
Jeremy, where's your head at going forward, man? What is it that you want to do or maybe get accomplished?
So right now, really am at a crossroads in my career. Second unit, I got another almost 3 years to think about that before even PCS. Don't know if I want to go back to infantry. Don't know if I want to get out. Don't know. I kind of want to go to selection for something.
Yeah.
See if I can do some cool guy stuff.
Yeah.
That's really where my head is at. Just kind of prepping my body, healing from years of abuse, and trying to stay tactical and proficient.
Of course.
Because I know if I, if I don't go to ISOL, don't go to IULC before I PCS, I'm not going to be in it. Right? Not going to be in a good place. So I need to stay current and stay up with it. Good thing about it here at Weapons Training Battalion is there's a lot of good 0369s and 03s in general that I can still talk to and learn from. So I'm not removed from it. And even if I do feel removed, I got TBS down the road.
Yeah, of course.
That I can go to.
Where do you see most of the GWAT guys now in the Marine Corps, dude? Are they at the senior enlisted level, mostly master sergeant, master guns, or?
Yeah. So all of them, I haven't seen a real a Marja or a Sangan vet, and none of them are staff anymore. They're either gunnies or out. I haven't seen anyone who's done that kind of fighting. There are some sergeants and some staff who maybe went to Afghan or got a Syria deployment before all of that started to get quiet. But a lot of them, my current staff in CIC, he's a master sergeant. He was there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of master sergeants and master guns over here who were there, but not really any staff or sergeants because too young.
Yeah.
Just like me, time and opportunity.
It's weird, dude, because it's just such a strange time in the Marines. Because most of the GWAT guys got phased out, or COVID went on and they were like, fuck this, or you're right, they're at that, that senior enlisted rank. And it really puts a lot of the ownership on you young leaders, man. You really gotta there's a lot that falls on your shoulders, dude, and you don't have that mentor initially that you would have normally, we would have had, maybe that salty staff or that salty sergeant that's been in longer than you. It's weird
I had we'd have Ramadi vets or whatever over us and shit, and it's just that's disappearing. And Nick, we're not quite there yet, but fuck, we're going the way of the Desert Storm vet. It really.
I know. It's such a
goddamn. I'm only 33, man. I'm not that old. I got some grays, but not that many.
Yeah.
That was It's funny that you mentioned that, the salty staff, having those mentors. That's one of the really good things they had going. doing like the infantry battalion experiment 30. I don't know how much you know about that, but like they were trying to re-TO how the infantry works. And with that,
Oh
instead
yeah.
of having like lance corporal and corporal squad leaders, they wanted staff sergeant squad leaders. So in my first platoon, we had 4 0369s.
Wow.
All of them went to Afghan or Iraq,
Huh.
and it was just so much. Like it's kind of like how your granddad, your dad, like
Yeah.
you when they pass away, and you're like, man, I wish I asked more questions. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish I was in that platoon right now with how
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more competent now than I was as an intel
Yeah.
lance
Yeah. Yeah.
corporal.
Yep.
A
Like the
little,
questions I'd be asking right
a
now.
little more competent, and also you're an E5, a little more confident. Fucking E2, E3, has been in for a year and a half, isn't gonna go up to his fucking staff sergeant and be like, "Hey, staff sergeant, I know you, I know you were in combat. I know that might be fucking hard in your head, but can you tell me what, being ambushed was like?"
Mm.
No, E3 is gonna fucking be like, I just want to get the fuck out of here because
Yeah.
this guy
Yeah.
intimidates me.
Yeah.
Sergeant is like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna milk whatever the fuck I can out of this guy while he's still alive. This
Yeah. Yeah.
old fuck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Where's
it's
your
funny how
so
that works.
how has it changed since you've like progressed to the rank that you're on now, Jeremy? Like since you initially joined, has it gone the way you thought it would go, or I mean, has it been kind of like I mean, because I try to put myself in your perspective, and something that you said earlier, you're right, man. You guys haven't had anything to chew on in a while, and it makes it difficult, especially a guy in your position, because you're the guy that has to light that fire for these younger guys. And if
Yeah.
you don't have it above you and you don't have it below you, dude, it's just you. So, I mean, I can see your struggle. But just know that, I mean, exactly what Bobo said earlier, man, being able to make it real for these guys, because they really can't, I mean, put it in perspective if you don't make it real. And I can see why you're struggling here, but try not to lose faith, man. Try not to lose faith, and try to just stay motivated yourself, because honestly, the way the world's going, dude, it really looks like something's going to pop off here very soon. Whether it's going to be, I don't know. I mean, me and Bobo, we constantly talk about China and Taiwan, um, or whether we're going to
Shit
get,
with Israel,
yeah, yeah,
whether we're backing them up, and
yep,
yeah, I mean, keep in mind, and to piggyback off to caveat, piggyback all the staff NCO fucking words. Um, Nick and I, even though we had combat veterans, direct combat veterans above us, we at one point before we deployed were exactly where you were,
yeah,
trained up, no experience, no like
yeah,
actual in theater experience. Before in World War II, before they did their island hopping, they had no fucking experience. But when we invaded Iraq and Afghan, most of those fucking guys, short of a few dudes who were in Mogadishu, they had no fucking experience. They fucking killed it. They did it. They were able to figure it out because we're psychopaths who train. And even if you've got a fair amount of guys who are just tick-tock clout chasing motherfuckers, there's enough people like you who
yeah,
are hungry enough and give a fuck enough to drag those motherfuckers out of the trench and remind them that the only way out is through. So keep that fucking mentality as best you can. And just because that direct experience isn't above you or within you, it doesn't fucking matter. That's what training is.
yeah,
That's what training is. And just because I'll even use Afghan as a thing. Just I can have someone who was an Afghan in 2006, went on recruiting duty, went back to a Marine Corps like a line platoon or the fleet, and goes to deploy in 2012 or 2013. That is not the same Afghan that they left. So their experience only gets them so far. So no, whether your experience is from direct combat or just through training, Marines have done it before and will continue to do it. And if that's the only thing I can impart on you to fucking hammer into the guys that you train and work with, and any further units you may end up in, that's my parting wisdom for you. Is you don't have to be part of that old guard unit that actually put rounds down range. Putting rounds down range and training matters
yeah.
just as much, in my opinion.
And also remember, dude, you're still a fucking E5 as an 0331. you're in the best possible position you could be in the Marine Corps right now, dude. I wish I could kind of go. We reminisce on this shit a lot, dude. I wish I could kind of go back at times, dude. But just remind yourself that you know at times when it's difficult to maybe do what you're doing. Just remind yourself that you're in that fucking position right now, and remind yourself that you are that motherfucker that needs to drag his dick a little bit and show these guys what it is. Because if you don't, no one else is going to. So just remember that it could pop off at any moment, and just try to keep you at least what you can control sharp. Keep it sharp, dude. Now keep in mind one last thing, Jeremy. I mean, a lot of the lower ranks follow this podcast. As an E5 right now, what's something you'd want to say to maybe the enlisted Marine Corps that's at the tip of the spear, that would be one of the some of the first guys that get over there if something does pop off? What's something you would whether it's to light a fire under them or remind them of something, say something to them.
Just the biggest thing, and this is what I try to live my life like, even though a lot of times I end up not doing it. DBAB, don't be a bitch, because just at the end of the day, like, I'd rather have a dude who is a fucking meat eater and doesn't let like the rain, the heat, whatever elements affect him. He's still gonna go and do the mission versus like the best shooter, the best tactician ever. But when the going gets hard, he just falls apart.
Yep.
Like that's gonna be the real test
Oh.
with this next one and with all wars.
Yeah.
It's the dudes who just aren't going to give up when they see their buddy blow up, or
Yeah.
it gets a little rainy, or they're a little hungry.
Yeah.
You
You want a field Marine, not a range Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Solid.
yeah. No, definitely want when I do go back to the real Marine Corps, to the fleet.
The word.
I do want to have guys who are just not falling apart after a little hard PT, or maybe like a 1 week field up. Need
Yep.
dudes who are going to be a man's man.
Yep.
And sometimes you need to be the one to get them to that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Just remember that's, if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be you, bro. So you gotta foster that environment where these guys realize, oh shit, I gotta be that dude right now. I'm in that position right now where I gotta train that hard. Like you're the one that has to remind them, because if you don't do, no one else is going to.
Mhm.
But that's all I got, Jeremy. Bobo, you got anything else for him?
I mean, like I said before, you're the one that's going to be, you and Marines like you are going to be the ones that are, dragging these guys out of the trenches for the next attack. You're the one that's going to be, pushing us through the jungle, or maybe through the next desert that we get involved in. But don't lose the faith. Don't lose faith in violence. Don't lose faith in training. And we've done it before, and we'll continue to do it. Yeah.
Stay hard, bro. I appreciate you coming on, man, and we'll talk soon. Semper Fi.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Simplify.